been growing concern about the lack of protection for whistleblowers. Civil society organizations have written to President Cyril Ramaphosa urging him to stop talking and to act. The Southern African Institute for Responsive and Accountable Governance is one of them. Its chairperson, Advocate Tshediso Tipanyane, joins me now for more on this. A very good afternoon to you, Advocate. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, you're asking for the president to act, and rightly so, because just not too long ago, and still, in fact, we are dealing with the case of Babita Deokaran, who essentially risked her life, and it eventually ended in such that her life was taken for her doing the right thing, for blowing the whistle on corrupt activity. And when such happens, those who do sit on information that essentially could bring a lot of people to justice decide to keep it quiet. They get threatened that if you talk, you will not see the rising sun the next day. So how then does the president deal with this kind of matter? That there are people that do want to talk, but that he needs to protect them, but it's seemingly he's struggling with that.
No, thanks for the opportunity. Yes, we are basically saying that, we've had enough of talk. We want to see meaningful action in the protection and support of whistleblowers. We've had the president's remarks in SONA that, measures will be taken will be looked into protection for whistleblowers. But we are saying that that is not enough, only by the state and state officials. And therefore, we're demanding that the president insist that all public bodies and all government officials stop with immediate effect the victimization of genuine whistleblowers, because they play a very important role in the fight against corruption. We also want a fund to be established which will protect and support whistleblowers. Many whistleblowers, when they face victimizations by the state, they have to use their own funds to fight injustice or victimization, and they incur lots and lots of costs in this regard. And some of them are not even able to afford to fight the victimization of them being whistleblowers. We're really demanding for a concrete action from the president. We also want an engagement, a civil society with the president, to address our concerns around the inadequate legal framework which is meant to protect whistleblowers in our country.
How does the president do that, though, Advocate? Because crime is rife in this country. There's already so much on his table, on the table of the police minister, Begicele, on the table of everybody that is essentially law enforcement in this country. I mean, as it is, we are talking about the killing of Keenan, a.k.a. Forbes, right now, where law enforcement needs to be boots on the ground, essentially brains together to try and find who it is that did this. We are still, of course, there is talk about that there are more people who've been involved in the killing of Babita Deokaran, who herself is a whistleblower. We're talking about all sorts of corruption that is happening. So there is so much that needs to be focused on by law enforcement. So how then is he able to, share those responsibilities and those resources to ensure that whistleblowers as well are protected?
Well, the simplest of all the requests we are making is that the state must stop victimizing whistleblowers. We have people like Martha Ngoye, Matapelo More, Sukisa Poche, and Cynthia Stamfel. All these people are whistleblowers who are playing an important role.
All right. It seems the connection to Advocate Tshediso Tipanyane is just failing us there. Of course, he is the SAIRAG chairperson, just talking about the need for the president to stop talking at SONAs and just stop talking in general and start acting to protect whistleblowers, because there are a number of them. There are a lot of people who want to see the end of corruption, but then he's calling for, just the government itself to just stop the victimization of these whistleblowers. So essentially it says there are people within these structures who are making sure that these people do not talk, and that when they do, their lives are threatened, and that the president must stand up and actually act on such a matter. It's unfortunate that we couldn't delve a little deeper into that conversation.